Welcome to episode 18 of It's Tool Time. Today we're going to talk about how to get rid of soreness and how much water to drink daily. Hey guys, thanks for joining me for the show. I'm super pumped for today's episode. I love getting your all's questions. I love getting to answer them. I love hearing all of your all's suggestions and comments, on all the videos. I read every single one of them, and I just want to thank you guys for being here because this is fun for me, and I hope it's awesome for you too. But the first question today comes in from Shamey. And she says, hey, I've got a question for you. How much water do you drink a day? Do you normally try to keep track of how much you drink? How important is it? Thanks. So yes, it's extremely important to track your water intake, okay? It's so surprising to me how many things stem off of just being dehydrated, okay? A lot of the cravings that you're having when you feel hungry and you're like, oh my gosh, I just feel hungry all the time. Well, a lot of it is just from being dehydrated. So keeping your body hydrated is literally the best thing that you can do for your body because then it can operate properly, right? For me, yes, I keep track of it. I actually drink I drink more than a gallon a day, but the way that I keep track of it, instead of like carrying around a big gallon jug, I just drink like 4 smart water bottles. Like they're the ones that are like this big and like skinny because they like actually fit in the BMW cup holders. So that's why I like those. The typical range is usually half your body weight in ounces is what you're supposed to drink of water a day. So if you weigh 140 pounds, you're supposed to drink 70 ounces of water a day. I just like sticking with a gallon a day because the more hydrated your body is, the more it's gonna let go of stuff that it doesn't need, the more that, your body's gonna be hydrated and feel good and operate on the level that it needs to operate on, right? Because your body's 70% water. So when you are able to give it that hydration that it needs, then it fully operates to its full potential instead of, being all dried up. It's like being a sponge, right? Like you look at a sponge when it's filled with water, you're like, okay, like it's doing what it needs to do, right? But when it's all dried out and crusty and stuff and you're like, you just throw it away, right? Because it's so broken. And that's how people's bodies get because a lot of people nowadays are just drinking straight Cokes and stuff all day long and carbonated stuff, and their bodies are so dehydrated that's why they're having, digestion issues, and that's why, even down to your eyes, staying hydrated. People are like, my eyes are so dry all the time. I'm like, dude, you just need to drink water and it's gonna solve 80% of your problems, right? So guys, you gotta stay hydrated. You gotta drink water. I know it's not the most delicious thing in the world, but it's the best thing for your body. So make sure you're getting that water in. All right, next question. Says, I started working out yesterday. I did a ton of different leg exercises. My thighs hurt so bad I can barely walk. I know the pain means I hit the muscles I don't use often, but what can I do to minimize the pain to where it's bearable to walk and to work out every day until my body gets used to it? So I love this question because this is me every time I do legs. Literally, I can barely walk the next day. And one of the tricks to this is, the soreness in your legs or in your body is due to built up lactic acid, okay? So especially for the legs, because that's when it's the most miserable, the best thing that you can do is walk on a treadmill, do some cardio. I know that it sounds like it's gonna be killer, but it actually makes you feel a lot better because walking on an incline on the treadmill will break up that lactic acid, and it's gonna relieve some of that soreness. The other things that you can do is take a bath in Epsom salt. That's what I do that night after I've done legs, take a bath in Epsom salt. The other thing is drinking BCAAs while you're working out and after your workout. So that's really gonna help with the recovery process of all of your muscles, and it's gonna dial down that soreness because it's actually being able to repair itself faster, if that makes sense. So yes, girl, I know exactly what you're talking about when you're saying that. You're trying to lower yourself down, to sit on the toilet because it's so bad. Yeah, that's how it is for me every time. But these are some of the things that I do to keep that soreness to a bare minimum. Hope that helps. All right, next question comes in from Dirty Dee. That's the funniest name I've ever seen on Snapchat. Dirty Dee 18. Dang, Dirty Dee. That's a funny username, man. Okay, so she says, hopefully it's a she, I guess. Any advice on late night eating? I feel like when I get off work, 12:30 a.m. most nights, I feel like I can't lose weight because I eat at 1 to 2 a.m. in the morning. All right, so I'm a huge advocate in if you're hungry, eat because your metabolism is asking you to fuel it. So as long as you're not eating right before bed, like hard stuff for your body to digest, like really carby meals, and I like to stick to like just protein meals like egg whites or little bit of non-starchy vegetables like green beans and stuff, that's fine too before bed, or like protein shake, that kind of stuff. But if you're having like really carby meals before bed, that's just not good for you, because you're gonna try to go to sleep and your body's trying to digest all of that, and it's the number 2 drainer of energy, so it's gonna be hard for you to fall asleep after having big meals. But I don't know, it sounds like to me, and I don't really know, but if you're waiting to eat until you're totally off work and stuff and you're not really like eating through your shift and everything, that's probably the number 1 thing that's hurting you, because you need to be eating like every 3 hours to keep your metabolism running. And I just have a feeling by what you wrote that you're kind of not eating during that shift, and you're waiting, and then you're having like a big huge meal after work. So you just want to split that stuff up, and especially if you're having a hard time like getting a whole meal in at work, or you don't have time for that and you don't really get breaks, your best friend can be a protein shake. Okay, that could be your absolute best friend, because you just have a shaker and you can have it with you, a little bit of water, and you're at least getting something in your body to keep your metabolism going. So every 3 hours, Dee, make sure that you're having something at work. And so then when you get off work, you don't find yourself like binge eating right before bed. Okay, so there's no problem eating right before you go to sleep, but it's just you have to be conscious of what you're eating and how much. Next question. What are your thoughts on meal replacement shakes? I absolutely love them. It's one of the, I still drink them to this day for breakfast. Like I have a meal replacement shake and a grapefruit in the morning before I work out, because I don't really feel, I don't like having a big meal before I work out, because I feel like it just like drains me and it like brings, like grogs me down, right? Because my body's trying to digest food while I'm trying to like exert all this energy and like lift. So I absolutely love meal replacement shakes, and most people don't really have the time to like cook and do all this stuff, and I think that's where meal replacement shakes come in the most handy, right? Because you can make it and you can drink it like while you're getting ready for work or whatever, and it's not like a huge ordeal. Like you're not having to like cook a full meal, do all this, but you're still getting a really like, you're getting all your nutrition that you need like in the morning, instead of just drinking coffee and running out the door like a lot of people do. So I've probably been drinking a meal replacement shake now for like, I don't know, probably like 4 years. So like in the morning every day for like 4 years for breakfast, along with like a grapefruit and rice cake. And if you see my Snapchat, that's like what I have every single morning. But I totally am a huge advocate. I believe that there's some out there better than others. The ones that I like are Visalis shakes, and I really like the Juice Plus shakes that are plant-based. Those are my 2 big ones. The chocolate one from Juice Plus is like amazing. But I think that it's something that everyone should do, because I don't think a lot of people are consistent on eating a healthy breakfast, because they're like trying to run around and run out the door, and instead of like cooking a healthy meal, which who has time to do that at like 6:30 in the morning? They're running through the drive-through at McDonald's, or going out to eat somewhere for breakfast and grabbing something, or just getting coffee and a donut at the gas station, or a sugar muffin from Starbucks when they get their coffee, and considering that a breakfast, right? So I 100% think everyone should have a meal replacement shake for breakfast. The other thing that I like to do with it is as my like 4th meal. So like my meal late at night after I do like late night cardio or whatever, I always have like another shake, and that's like my 4th meal replacement, right? So totally on that bandwagon. I absolutely love them. A lot of people get a ton of results from them. It keeps you full for a long time, and really just helps you get nutrition in that normally you wouldn't get in the morning. So hope that helps.